The first thing you'll notice about our new PPP Loan Forgiveness Calculator is just how clean and well laid out it is. You notice that anytime you are requested to enter information, the cell is in blue, and you enter the information into that cell, like that, and all the calculations will be done for you. It's true on all of the tabs and throughout all the calculations. You're simply asked to enter the blue cells. So you're probably wondering, how do I even get started? Well, it's really simple. On the Start Here tab, you'll enter your PPP loan amount number, as I just did, and then scroll down and answer these 4 questions. These are the 4 critical questions to maximize your loan forgiveness. So, do you need to fill out the long form, or can you use the short, the EZ form? Are you paying people enough? How much are you spending on other qualified expenses? And are you employing enough people? Each of those questions is given a tab across the bottom. They're appropriately numbered 1 through 4. And the 5th tab will be the completed form. That is all of the answers that you need to fill out the paper form for the SBA or for the bank will be all in one place. Let's go through them real quickly. So the Need tab determines whether you have to fill out the long form or whether you can use the EZ. There's 3 simple questions. If you answer yes to any one of them, you can skip all the way to the last tab, which is our EZ form. But let's say that you can't answer yes to these 3 questions and that you have some penalties to calculate, that maybe you haven't been able to use all of your money. Well, that's not hard. We go to tab number 2, Wages, and we answer the question, are we paying people enough? Again, entering values only in blue cells. You'll start here by getting your payroll reports from your payroll company, ADP or Intuit, and they'll give you a report that will look a lot like this table. So even though this looks a little daunting, keep in mind that your payroll report is going to be very similar. You'll put each employee's name, you'll enter the amount of cash compensation you paid them during the first quarter of this year, that's before the COVID loans, and then you'll write down how much you paid them during either the 8-week or the 24-week period. So all through the workbook here, you'll be able to compare both 8-week and 24-week results. You don't have to enter both results. You don't have to enter data into both the 8-week and the 24-week column. But if you do, it'll show you how you come out in either case. The other thing to fill out on this form is whether you've cut someone's wages. That's very important to know, the wage reduction that you've given them on an hourly rate. So just like the PPP forgiveness form, you have 2 tables to fill out, one for people making less than $100,000 a year, one for people making more than $100,000 a year. And finally, you're also asked then to calculate the owner's pay, because the owner's compensation has different limits, different rules around that. And so I've included those rules into the calculations. It's already pre-filled for you. Besides wages, of course, you have 2 categories of other expenses that are covered by the PPP. One is the non-wage payroll items paid by the company, healthcare, retirement benefits, SUTA, those sorts of things. And then the non-payroll items, including rent, utilities, and mortgage interest. So you can capture those in both the 8 and 24-week formats, just as before. You've entered those 6 items. You can go on to the FTE, that's the full-time equivalent employee page. And keep in mind, this is the headcount page. There are 3 ways to avoid counting your headcount. There's 3 ways to avoid filling out this part of the form altogether. And I've outlined those for you as well as giving you a little calculator with a green and red box on there to tell you whether you are qualifying for the safe harbor or not. So that's very handy. And then as you scroll down, you will have finally a chance to calculate the FTE penalty if you have one. The SBA calls this the FTE reduction quotient, and it's the difference between FTE hours before the COVID loan and after the COVID loan. And note that we are comparing the base period to both 8 weeks or 24 weeks, so you can do whichever one you want there. Finally, if you've done all of that, you're done. And each of the answers to each of these questions will appear right here in the same format that they do on the actual paper form, ready for you to fill out. So lines 1 through 11 of the long form will be right there written down for you, and it will show you your ultimate forgiveness on line number 11. And of course, it's showing you for both 8 weeks and 24 weeks, so now you can decide on your best strategy. I hope that helps you decide to use my PPP Loan Forgiveness Calculator. It is up to date. It was completed on June 25th most recently. It reflects all of the PPP Flexibility Act, and of course, we will continue to keep it up to date for you if things change again. Meanwhile, I also just want to say, if this still seems like it's a bit much for you, or you simply don't have the time to do this, we are offering to complete all of these things for you, and you can find that on the link to our masterclass page below. And I thank you very much.